Are smart people more likely to be morning people or night owls? Politically, are they more liberal or conservative? Do they prefer coffee or alcohol? And what do they think about marriage and having kids? Interestingly, some clues lie in how people relate to friendships, especially those who love watching videos of their favorite celebrities or streamers. Studies show that people who often watch these kinds of videos feel satisfied with their friendships, even if they don't have many close friends in real life. Why is that? Before I will tell you about this, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications for the Stickman channel. Dr. Satoshi Kanazawa, an evolutionary psychologist at the University of London, explains that the human brain has trouble telling apart friends on a screen from friends in real life. For millions of years, humans lived in environments where seeing moving images of people simply wasn't possible. So our brains still can't fully grasp what modern technologies like TV or movies really are. That's why people cry during sad movie scenes or get scared during horror films on a subconscious level. The brain reacts as if those images are real. Kanazawa calls this the Savanna Principle. Take men watching erotic videos. Consciously, they know the women on screen aren't real partners they can actually meet. But subconsciously, their brains still process them as potential mates. That's why a man can feel aroused as if it's real. If the brain truly understood porn was just fiction, it wouldn't trigger sexual excitement in situations where no real encounter is possible. So what do we mean when we talk about intelligence? IQ tests don't just measure reading or language skills. They also measure how well people can visualize 3D objects from different angles, do calculations, and solve complex problems. But for millions of years in the African savanna, these kinds of abilities weren't particularly useful. Back then, survival and finding food were the main priorities. People didn't have to overthink what to eat. Unlike modern folks worrying about weight and health, our ancestors simply ate what tasted good, because craving high-calorie foods helped them stay alive. It's only in the last few thousand years, with agriculture, industry, the information age, and now AI, that intelligence has become so important. Many of the problems we face today are completely new from an evolutionary perspective. Here's another surprising fact. People with below-average intelligence often feel more satisfied with their friendships the more TV they watch. But highly intelligent people don't feel this same boost. Men who watch porn frequently tend to believe real-life women are just as sexually open as women on screen. And this belief is stronger in those with lower intelligence. On the other hand, highly intelligent people are better at telling fiction from reality. But ironically, this can leave them feeling less satisfied with their real-life relationships, and lonelier as a result. Even with things like making friends, dating, and marriage, all basic parts of human life, highly intelligent people sometimes struggle. Professor Bruce Charlton from the University of Buckingham calls them clever fools. The smarter someone is, the more they analyze and try to solve every problem logically. But when it comes to love and marriage, where instinct and emotion play a huge role, being overly logical can backfire. Smart people often don't trust common sense, even for simple problems. Instead, they like coming up with unique and complex solutions. It's a bit like the male peacock's colorful tail. It doesn't help him survive, it actually makes him an easy target for predators. But biologist Amos Zahavi says that's the point. The tail is a costly signal showing he's strong enough to survive despite the risk. From this angle, it makes sense that highly intelligent people might enjoy things that didn't exist in our ancestors' world. Humans are naturally daytime creatures, active when the sun's up. In prehistoric times, without artificial light, staying up at night was dangerous because of predators. So being a night owl is entirely new in human history. And the intelligence paradox suggests that highly intelligent people are more likely to stay up late and sleep in. One study of 20,000 Americans from 1994 to 2024 found that people with IQs below 75 went to bed around 12:35 a.m. on weekends, while those with IQs above 125 stayed up until 1:44 a.m. Even as adults, smarter people tend to be night owls. The same goes for alcohol. Naturally fermented fruit contains only about 5% alcohol, like mild beer. But today's beers, wines, and whiskeys have much higher alcohol content. Making strong alcohol deliberately is a recent human invention, possible only after farming began around 8000 BCE. And even newer than alcohol are psychoactive drugs. Cocaine was first made in 1860 and heroin in 1874, completely new experiences for the human brain. Studies show that highly intelligent people are more likely to experiment with alcohol and drugs and often drink heavily or get drunk. Smart people also tend to prefer classical music over pop, are more open to homosexuality and vegetarianism, and are less likely to believe in religion. In short, the higher a person's intelligence, the more they drift away from traditional human behaviors like waking up early, being heterosexual, marrying, and having kids. Research shows that highly intelligent people are more determined not to have children. In developed countries like Australia, Denmark, Norway, and the UK, average IQ levels have started to drop in the 21st century. Because intelligence is about 80% inherited, smart people choosing not to have kids could affect society's overall intelligence level in the long run. Dr. Kanazawa points out that while intelligence is often seen as a sign of human value today, it doesn't necessarily guarantee happiness or a better life. In fact, smart people often have trouble making good friends, becoming good partners, or being good parents. They're also more likely to be politically liberal and less religious. But does being liberal and secular automatically mean someone's better off? Is waking up late, preferring same-sex relationships, loving classical music, drinking heavily, or experimenting with drugs truly signs of a superior life? All of this makes us realize that intelligence alone isn't enough to define how happy or fulfilled a person's life really is. Let's stick to it together.